I am Vinnie Tortorich, folks. Your good intentions have been stolen, but don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you will be lean and mean, guaranteed, just like the woman on the other mic. She comes in every Wednesday, whether we wanted to or not. She even sat in for a Friday show.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
talking about the beautiful Miss Gina Grad. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
thank you. Thank you. It's so good to be here as always. We've been doing this for so many years, and every time we do it, it's like the first time.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. God, I wish everything was like that. Yeah.
It's true. I have a couple things I want to bring to your attention, but you know how you're always talking about, and rightfully so, you're never too old to do anything. You're never too old.
Hmm.
You're constantly learning new things and doing new things and inspiring others to do new things. And I just wanted to reiterate that because talk about not being too old. Vinny, I am in the middle of midterms right now because as you may remember, I went back to school to finish my bachelor's degree, and I am in the middle of midterm hell like a child.
Okay, so let's talk about this, Gina.
I have other things, but I just wanted to mention that to you.
I know. All right, so midterms. First off, are you going to a physical school or are you doing it online?
No, it's all online. My alma mater, University of Kansas. They have a great program called Global Jayhawk. Go Hawks, Rock Chalk. And I wanted to finish where it all began. That's my place. That's my alma mater.
Where did you leave off? How many hours did you need to get your degree?
Funny you should ask. Long story short, I had like 3 math classes left. And it's not that I avoided
Hmm.
them. I couldn't pass them. Back in those days, you were just dumb. There was no special accounting for anything. So
Right.
I tried it standing on my head, tutors, I couldn't pass it. So I said, you know what? Enough. I have to start my life. As most people in broadcasting do, by the way, most people do not finish college.
Right.
And time has passed and it's been gnawing at me. And I thought, I'm going back. So long story short to your answer, I said, 3 math classes, please. And they said, oh, no, 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 no. Our curriculum has changed significantly since you were here. The good news is you don't really have to do those math classes. Great. The bad news is there's a shit ton you do have to do now that's required that wasn't required back in your day. So it's going
Such
to take a
as
while.
because
Oh,
back in like there's nothing I learned like I use my kinesiology and my
mhm.
nutrition and I use a few of my
Oh,
classes, but there's
you're going to
stuff I'll never use.
You're going to love this. Remember, this is to make well-rounded children going into the world, not old, haggard, grizzled, middle-aged women who just want to tighten things up. So, I mean, we're talking, I'm making this up, but it's not far from it. Like 18th century Arabic poetry and things. I'm like, what? I just wanted to take my math class and move on with my life. I have so many classes. Like right now, I'm in a sociology class. I love it. Sociology, you would love it. I mean, sociology is the most
Oh, I took
fascinating
I
thing.
took a lot of sociology.
I'm sure you did. It seems like something you would do instead of
Yeah.
psychology, where it's one person and their brain. It's all of society and how we
Right.
function as a culture, which is so fascinating. But lots of things that I'm like, what? Why? Because there's just a thousand new requirements. It's going to take a while. So
But
I'm in the
why
middle of
would I wait?
midterms.
We'll go back.
Yeah.
What's that class you just said?
Sociology?
No, before that.
Oh, 18th
Eh,
century Arabic poetry.
Okay. What does that have to do with life today?
It's about diversity in the humanities, and now there's all these core diversity classes for kids that need to have, they're in Kansas and they need their bubble and their horizon expanded. Understood. But I'm a something, 40-year-old woman who's lived in LA for 20 years. I'm good, but I'm not apparently because I'm not above taking these classes.
And how many hours are they making you take total?
It was gonna well, if I just came back the way I thought it was gonna be 9. This is 20.
Wow.
And I was gonna switch my major like a child, and they're like, "You want to take 45 out?" Nope, 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 nope. Let's just get me through this because I want to get a master's degree. But oh boy. And then I thought to myself the thing that we hear all the time, which is, oh, it's gonna take a year at least to finish this. Year's gonna pass anyway. Do I want my
Yeah.
bachelor's degree or do I want to sit on my ass?
Yeah. I've never understood that. It's going to take me 3 years. It's like, okay, so what? You
Yeah.
know, if you're around in 3 years, you're going to be glad you did it.
You
If you
should be so
died,
lucky.
yeah,
Yeah.
no big deal. I think we're missing a piece now. Look, I was never good with, trigonometry or any of that.
Oh,
Once you got outside of math, that's what's so amazing about my brain. I'm good at basic math and
you
math
are.
skills, but if you get me outside of that, into,
The abstract.
yeah, then I'm like, oh boy,
Yeah, same.
So I think we need to get back to math skills because the only time I see it, and you can say, yeah, oh man, Vinnie, but this is a decay. I talk about the decay all the time, right? It happened once, and then it happened again and again. I talked about it about a year ago. A new kid ended up behind the counter at one of the butcher counters I go to,
Uh-huh.
and he couldn't get the amount of meat correct. I'll tell that.
He couldn't do his fractions. A third of a
Well,
pound or
I said to him, I said, as I used to tell the guy before him, I would say, hey, I need three 12-ounce servings of ground beef, all separated, all
right.
done separate,
Yep.
wrap them separate. So I went and grabbed this and that and the other thing, and I come back and he hands me a big package, just
boy.
a big and I went, whoa, what's that? I said, did you pack them individually and then wrapped it over
Wrap it the whole thing.
in
Yeah.
order to make like one price tag?
Right.
Who knows? He goes, no, that's what you asked for. And I said, and I'm holding it. I went, this is not what I asked for. This is a couple of pounds of meat. It's 3, 4. I don't know what this is. So I said, throw it up on the scale for me. He throws it up, and it was like 2.8 pounds of meat. And I'm like, okay. I said, I'm so sorry. You must have misunderstood me. I would like 3 separate packages. You're gonna have to open this up, and I
Light it
want
up.
12 ounces, 12 ounces, and 12 ounce times 3, 3 packages.
Right.
And he goes, oh, I'm so sorry. I misunderstood you. Very, very nice kid.
Yeah, no problem.
So he opens it up, and I see him take his hand. He takes a big chunk of it and puts it on the scale. And it goes right to 1, which means, or he picks it off until it's right at 1.
Uh-huh.
And it's 1 pound up there.
No.
And I said, no, you're doing it again. He goes, well, what are you asking me to do? I said, I want 12 ounces. And then I went, oh, he doesn't know what that is. I said,
He doesn't
listen,
know how many ounces are in a pound.
I need to see 0.75. The number you're looking at, I need to see 0.75.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, okay. So he pulls more off and he goes down to 0.7. I said, good, stop right there. And I said, all right, now do that 2 more times, And then I walked away and I went, oh, he doesn't understand that a pound is 16 ounces.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. And even if he does know that, he doesn't
can't
know
translate it.
what 3/4 of a pound looks like.
Right.
He can't take 1/4 away and go, oh, this is what's left.
Right.
Right. Well, I thought maybe he was just challenged in some way, shape, or form. But as it turns out, I've had that same problem at that same place with other people they've hired on, buying fish and everything else. You ask for a 6-ounce serving of fish. Good luck. Good luck getting anywhere near that. The other day I asked for 6-ounce serving, and the guy, he throws a slab of cod up there, and I'm like, hang on. That's at least double what I asked for. He goes, well, how much do you want? I said, I already told you I want 6 ounces. And he was like, okay. So he chopped a little off and it went down to, a half a pound. It said 0.51. I went, okay, you're getting closer. And then I thought about it. I went, you know what? He's going to end up at 5. I said, you know what? I'll take the 8 ounces. That's good. I'll eat some extra cod. I'm good.
Great.
Now I'm making concessions so that I don't have to hurt their feelings anymore.
And like you're saying, it's simple math literacy. And you're right about that. Especially when they say, when am I ever going to use this? Trigonometry, I couldn't agree more.
Right.
Fractions and percentages, and a meat counter every day, you're going to use that.
And, is it that they don't teach that, what's in a pound, 16 ounces?
I mean, my third grader is learning it right now.
Right.
So I guess it just depends on what you retain.
Or what you care about,
Yeah.
at any level,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, it's true. And that's the thing. I mean, I skated and now doing work, these are books I would read for fun. They're books I do read for fun. And we used to have older quote unquote people in our classes. They were maybe 30 and I was like, "Oh, what a grandpa. What's he doing here?" They were the best students. And
Yeah.
now I get it because I love learning this. I love digesting it. I'm not there on, mommy and daddy's dime and loans, by the way, which were all handed back to me. So
Right.
that was a treat. But which and I had the money to pay it, and that was great. But you have so much more when you can really put your own skin in the game. I am excited about this, and I'm going to be really proud of myself. I was ashamed for so many years. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to tell anybody. But I'm proud of myself for going back and for finishing what I started.
Look, I think it's commendable because what most people don't know is Gina is a Mensa member.
I am.
Yeah.
I
And
am. I'm as shocked as you, but yes, I am.
no, I'm not shocked at all by that because
Oh, thank
you
you.
retain, I can talk to you all day long because you retain everything. You know everything. So you have good retention. But it's amazing that, the smartest people don't have college degrees. So I guess my question to you is why? Other than you just want to complete it, or do you see that as being a tool that you can use down the road?
Couple reasons. First, I've been plagued by it. My guilt and my shame have been plaguing me. I didn't just do like a semester in college. I did 5 years in college because I
Right.
was having a great time and I was overseas and I was having a great time. I was ready to leave. And then when I was ready to leave, I said, "You know what? I'm done. I'm done." And part of me understands that and part of me feels really guilty about that and really really ashamed. And so you get on with your life and you realize you don't really, you need it, you don't need it, and no one in my industry has it. And I've just the shame and the guilt have been just I've dragged it with me all these years. But the thing that was really a kick in the pants is it's I never want to be done learning and I don't know how my career is going to continue to evolve. And I want a master's degree. Well, you can't have a master's degree if you don't have a bachelor's degree.
Right.
So I want to continue learning and I want to see how my career evolves with my new knowledge. Would I like, someday for you to call me Dr. Gina? I would love it. We'll see. One step at a time. Right now, I want to zip up and put a bow on this bachelor's, apply to a master's program, and see where my life takes me.
Look, I'm all for it. My good friend, not Gina, but Nina
Mm,
Teicholz just became Dr. Teicholz.
exciting.
Yeah,
That's a
she just got,
lot of work.
and she was telling me this summer, she was like, I'm getting so close, I'm getting so close, I'm getting so close. And then when I saw that, she mentioned on Twitter, hey, I now have my PhD. I
Awesome.
couldn't have been happier. It's like, because one of the things about Gina is she went through and read all the research papers and did all the work
Yeah.
and figured out that we've been lied to for the past 55 years. Her book, folks, go get her book, Big Fat Surprise, and you'll see how the same studies that said don't eat saturated fat should have said eat more saturated fat.
Right.
And she was the first one to uncover a lot of that.
And not just lied to us, lied to her specifically because wasn't she a vegetarian?
Yeah, when she went down that road, she was trying to figure out how the vegan diet was the best diet in the world, and she was writing for a magazine. And she understood research because her dad was a research scientist at a
Mm,
university. So kind of like Lisa Kudrow, she grew up around research and doing
right,
research in her spare time. So, that's a muscle she knew how to flex,
right.
right? She knows how to find the hidden gems. And that's how she ended up writing one of the most incredible books about that subject.
So cool.
And then one of the criticisms, well, she's not a doctor. Well, guess what?
Now do you like me?
Yeah. How do you like me now?
Exactly. And that's the thing. I don't know. I mean, if I'm gonna, ultimately leverage a master's degree or maybe someday a PhD into a completely different career change or continue it with what I'm doing now. I'm not done. You inspire me. You've inspired me for years. And I've always, I'm a superhero, as I know a lot of us are, but I have a real superpower of telling of giving myself limitations and excuses of why, well, that'll work for everyone else, it'll never work for me. I am done. I am done with those limiting beliefs, and I'm excited to just jump in.
Good. Well, Gina, that makes my day. And folks, if this allows you, then to do what you want to do in life, go do that.
Mm-hmm.
Just go do it because life doesn't start at any certain day. Life is happening while you're waiting for your life to start. So,
Right.
and look, I'm Gina, more power to you. I'm proud of you for
Thank
doing that.
you.
And look, it was the same thing when I finally built that kayak. Something you think.
Yes.
And Joey Schott, man, I can't thank that guy enough over at Turning Point Boat Works. He took time to teach me a skill. I didn't know how to, chamfer, and make something fit into a joint or do any kind of ship lapping or any, rolling joints and all this
Right.
kind of stuff. I wouldn't have never touched any of it, right? I didn't know that you glued a boat together.
No.
I got a bunch of wood glued together, and then you laminate over that so that the glue doesn't, I wouldn't
Shellac
know
it.
any of
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you do a lot of shellacking. So, you know, eh,
Keep learning.
just keep doing something. I mentioned archery, Yeah,
Yes.
it's one thing to go, shoot at skeet all the time, but how about shoot some ammunition that you can go retrieve and shoot again? Try that.
Yeah.
Right. It all works. Gina, you got a couple of one or two little stories over there
Yeah.
with you?
I was reading an article and this word kept coming up and I never heard it, this phrase. I never could figure out what it was. So I Googled it and now that's kind of what I want to ask you about. Apparently it's a new thing. Are you familiar with longevity clinics?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I am.
I have
Go on.
lots of questions. Okay, so I was reading this story about, the best way to live to 100, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
And it kept saying at the longevity clinic, I kept kind of ignoring it. I'm like, wait, I'm there's a phrase I'm not understanding. So I got to look up what is a longevity clinic. So I looked it up. Apparently it's a high-end clinic that offers science-based and highly personalized guidance, even though they're inaccessible to most people. And the reason for that is they're very, very expensive. Some of them have memberships that start at $40,000 a year. They're not regulated, but a lot of them are in Europe. And here's a CEO of one of them says, using long-term data from individual medical, fitness, nutritional, and cognitive assessments, our programs build a comprehensive and holistic big picture view of wellness risks and weaknesses, providing the basis for evolving lifestyle and medical recommendations. That sounds like a long way to say we try to tailor this to you and get you, to stay above ground for as long as possible, but it's very, very expensive. What do you know about this? And should we all be saving up to be part of a longevity clinic?
No.
Okay.
The short answer is no.
Okay.
Um, I've had clients over the years, clients that, back when a billionaire meant you had $1 billion
Right.
and people like that, people with hundreds of millions of dollars, more money than they can ever spend. These usually weren't celebrity types. These were oil baronesses and
Sure.
tycoons,
Tycoons. Yeah.
this, that, and the whole thing. And they would all run off to, this is old days. And I had a couple of these in New Orleans. The old oil money used to do it too. It was the first time I heard. I was still in New Orleans. They would run off to Switzerland or Sweden or somewhere
Right. Yes, that's where they
and
are.
have blood transfusions. Like I don't know, lamb's blood or yak blood or something.
What?
Yeah. They would get blood transfusions to get younger blood into their bodies. Um, Back then it was the early days of people using growth hormones,
Sure.
not just regular steroids, but growth hormones.
Uh-huh.
And you would always notice,
HGH.
HGH, human growth hormones. And, you know, now long term on those things, I don't think it's a good idea, but, you know, you look good for a while.
Right.
That's, you know, HGH is what they caught Stallone with in a few years ago. And, over in, when he was in Australia or somewhere, right?
Okay.
Some of these people take this stuff. Look, you look at Stallone today, he doesn't look so good. And you know, Carl Withers just died.
Right.
You know, a lot of these guys, you know, that you know, these heroes, they die young.
Yeah.
Now, Carl Withers claims he never took a steroid.
I saw Rocky.
I would
He
bet my
looked
life.
good.
Yeah, I would bet my life against it. You know, I used to see him down at the stairs in Santa Monica. The guy was There's a reason why Stallone picked him to do the movies. The guy looked like a behemoth and, you know, just ripped out.
Right.
You know, it's hard. Ask any bodybuilder that's taking steroids. It's hard to stay that way
Yeah.
naturally,
Yeah.
right? So maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But the longevity on some of this stuff is, you know, the answer, you know, we don't know. And now there's a guy that's one of these tech guys that's claiming he wants to live to be 120.
Yeah, and he
Other guy.
uses his son's blood and gives himself a transfusion.
Yeah, they're doing that kind of stuff. They're taking all kinds of, you know, hacking, you know, doing that.
Biohacking.
And he spends apparently 4 or 5 hours a day. He's got, like, I see these pictures, these helmets over his head and some kind of imaging. I don't know what, and I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, you're spending your whole life trying to live longer. Does that make sense? If you're going to take 5 or 6 hours out of your day every day so that you can live to be 120, haven't you lost too much of your time anyway?
It's a very good point. Why aren't you living now?
Yeah, you know, how about living? You know, life is what happens while you're waiting for life to start.
Right.
You know, now I've come up with another song.
Oh no.
I got 2 songs for the end of the show. You know, we're gonna have to stop early just to get both of these songs.
Well, I think about whatever that machine that you like. I can't remember what it's called, but like you stand on it and it does all your evaluations. And most doctors' offices think they have it, but they don't have the right one, you know, like the bone density and all that stuff. So you think, oh, well, that's longevity clinics just have more of that kind of stuff. What's wrong with that?
The problem is, you know, insurance will never cover it. Most of it is based on, you know, just pseudoscience to begin with. You know, most supplements that make you grow is based on just some inkling of a bad study that was done on a rat somewhere, right? It's not based on anything else. You know, when people go, oh, yeah, I take L-arginine, I take L-ornithine, I do this, I do that, I take all these different things. Yeah, guess what? By the time any of that stuff hits your stomach by itself, it's not gonna, it's gonna downgrade and not be what it is, you know? That's why eating, you know, proteins, animal proteins from eggs, from beef and this and that, you're getting the concentration of the amino acids within the proteins the way they're supposed to work synergistically, right? In concert.
But why is that never good enough? What else are we looking for?
Because it's like what we were saying last week when they stop these guys on the street and go, what are you doing? Most of them are going, I'm not taking any supplements. At the very least, creatine or something like that, or, you know, the best supplement to take is whole real food.
Right.
You know, you're taking a study of, you know, L-phenylalanine or ornithine or something like that from a study that was done on 3 rats in Helsinki 40 years ago, and now you're turning that into science. It doesn't, I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. And as I've said to you on this podcast before, if WADA and the IOC is okay with it, it ain't doing anything for you.
That is my favorite thing. Yeah, if the International Olympic Committee is fine with it, it's not helping you.
Them and the World Anti-Doping Association, if they're okay with this, then they ain't doing anything.
That is the greatest litmus test. I mean, and like you said, they're not okay with caffeine. So if they're okay with this, I wouldn't bet your house on it.
Yeah. You know, so, you know, and people, oh, no, you don't understand. It works for me. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work for you. Bro science. Bro DiMaggio.
Bro Namath.
Bro Namath. Bro Satriani. My favorite of all the bros.
Well, I'm so glad because, we're constantly, us normal people are constantly exposed to what the, rich and famous are doing and what
Yeah.
we don't have access to. And it can be frustrating, it can be scary. They're going to get to live and we're not. So you're telling us calm down, every slow and steady. They're not getting anything that you need so
You're not.
desperately.
And look, there's the one side where you think, oh, I'm doing something for my insides. But I always say, look at women, mostly women, a lot of guys now. Look at what they do to their face. They're trying to stay young by putting in fillers and everything else. And I will tell you to go. I want you to look something up right now, Gina.
Okay.
Look up current day Joan Van Ark.
I know. Yeah.
Okay. Now, that's one of the most beautiful women around 50 years ago. She would have grown into a beautiful older woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at pictures of her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We good with that? Did she do herself externally? Did she do herself any favors?
Hey, man.
Tough to look at, right? Yeah.
I think this is a bigger conversation of what we expect from women, that how they're not allowed to age, but you don't know that your choices aren't stay young forever or age. There are these
Women
certain
are
choices
allowed
that
to age. This is the pressure women put on themselves. Women are allowed to age.
oh boy.
Look, I was the first one when look, Serena was getting work right, left, and center. She hit 45 and her career stopped cold in its tracks. Because guess what? Now they could go hire other young hot chicks.
Sure.
And I told her, I said, you want to be an actress? Let your hair go gray and become your age. And you can start, at some point, you're going to start working. Guess what she's doing now?
And now she's
She's
never
working
home.
again.
Exactly.
Right. I got no one to cook for me because I had too good of an idea. Cooking
Yeah.
myself.
No, I think you're right. I think it's time we all kind of just calm down, take our natural power back and stop, turning ourselves into these whatever
Yeah.
I'm looking at.
Yeah. It's sad. And if you're doing that to your face, what do you think you're doing to your inside? Your inside looks like Joan Van Ark's face if you're doing that.
Okay.
I hate to be hating on Joan Van because I was a big fan back
She
in the
was
day.
gorgeous.
And I could go down a bunch of them.
Oh, there's no shortage.
No,
Just because Joan's the sacrificial lamb, there's no shortage.
Unfortunately, and I'm not goofing on her because I was always a big fan.
Yeah, there's no shortage.
It's bad.
Well, and it's the community you surround yourself with. I mean, you go west of where I live, south and west of where I live, and that's what women look like because that's what their friends look like and their neighbors look like. The rest of us don't look like that, so we don't think it looks normal. So you just kind of got to broaden your horizons and see that it's unnecessary.
Yeah. And they don't get out of their own bubble. And every time they show up, two things happen. They show up into a room and their friends go, oh my God, you look great. And then when they drive away, they go, oh my God, did you see how she fucked herself up? That's what goes on. We all do that.
Yeah.
Right. And people are doing that with their insides.
Yeah.
You can see it on someone's face.
Literally.
Right. But when Carl Withers dies at 76, and my dad, who abused his body with food his entire life, is alive at 85, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Right. You're not going to win.
Yeah.
You're not going to win.
And it's that proverbial deal with the devil. You want to have everything you think you want right now, and don't worry about later. Later, you're mine. Okay, where do I sign? And that's what these are.
Yeah.
You check out early, or you're very, you're infirmed for the rest of your life, or like you've shown us a million times, these bodybuilders that now can't walk.
Oh, some of them are dying before they hit the stage in their early 30s.
Oh boy.
They find them dead in the room before they hit the stage. Look, they did a thing. I can't remember what year it was. I want to say late 70s, early 80s, but they asked these Olympic competitors, because all these people are obsessed with training and everything else. Their whole life is getting to the Olympics. And they'll say to them, if you can be guaranteed a gold medal. And I can't remember exactly what, but it's like you get, you take a pill, it guarantees you will get a gold medal. you will get to go up and be on the podium and get the
International
gold medal
stage, yeah.
and your country's alma mater, your country's song is playing in the background, the whole deal. You get to go home. They throw a ticker tape parade in your hometown, but within 1 week of getting your thing, you die. You die. And something like 70% of them said, yeah, sign me up. Maybe
What?
75%. Yeah, sign me up.
I thought you were going to say like, but at the very end of your life, we take 10 years off your life.
No, you
A
die a week later. You get that medal, you become famous, you die. Like 70-something% said, yeah, sign me up. So we know that people will do crazy things to look a certain way and just, the hell with the rest of it.
Right.
Is what I'm doing. Right. Well, like I said, with the guy that's trying to lift 120, are you going to subtract all the hours where you should have been living? Or are you going to subtract those from your 120? And guess what? You ain't getting the 120. My mama, Virginia, made it to 101. All she did was cook with her hands every day, the pasta and the sauces, the stuffed artichokes.
Oh.
101. Woman never put a thing over her head and saw any kind of weird lights, nothing. Never got any ox blood unless she killed it. She might have gored an ox. Who knows?
Right. But for survival reasons.
Yeah. She probably needed one and, to put in the stew, but who knows? At any rate, folks, Gina Grad, who will never get any kind of ox blood.
I don't think
or
so.
Any kind of blood, no sheep blood, no nothing. She's got podcasts. She's got Instagram. She's got books. She's got Gina, tell them what you got and tell them where to find it.
All right. Very good. If you have parents or are a parent or had ever any interest in the family dynamic, please follow me on Instagram at My Extra Family. My Extra Family. I crank stuff out every day, and it's content I'm proud of, and I think you'll like it at My Extra Family. The book My Extra Mom, available Barnes & Noble and Amazon, but of course we go through Amazon on this show. We go to VinnieTortorich.com. We click on the Amazon banner. We get it that way. It's still on sale, by the way. I marked it down a couple bucks during Christmas, and I just left it that way because frankly I forgot. So take advantage of it before I bring it back up. My Extra Mom, it's a children's book about step families, and The Brian and Gina Show, the official podcast of LA Magazine, anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Gina already said where you can find me on the Amazon thing, so I'll just tell you guys, rate and review. And the guy we're going to play a little song from, I had two guys. We were just going to play one. This is a guy who's cheating life because he's got to have some age on him now, and he still looks incredible. So he works out all the time, and he stays in good shape. Do you know who we're going to play, Gina? I think we played him before.
Who?
We might have played him before. You're going to hear him.
Okay.
Right here, folks. So on behalf of Gina Grad, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living and do it with a guy named Timmy McGraw.